Thanks for staying with us. Today, one of the stories that really caught our attention is a story about a young girl who was murdered by her boyfriend, Collins. I think it happens in River State. It was quite heartbreaking. The police had released photos of a student who allegedly killed his girlfriend. Suspect identified as Collins, apprehended while he was allegedly about to dispose of her body after allegedly killing her and harvesting her eyes and breasts. The picture of the young girl is such a beautiful girl. You can see you can almost see her innocence. She's a 300-level chemistry student of the University of Port Harcourt, Justina Otuene, who was allegedly killed by her boyfriend. He's a 400-level student of the oil and gas in this, well, I said 400-level students of oil and gas in the same institution have surfaced online. All right, so it's a heartbreaking story because in the last few weeks we've been discussing ritual killings. Initially, we just totally felt that it was unbelievable, you know. But then people started sending us messages that, listen, these things really happen. You know, yeah, you might not know it because of the bubble you're living in, but trust me, it happens. Some people said they know somebody, their own family members that lost a part of their body. Others are saying it happened in their presence. Well, I'm yet to see that's ritual killing. I'm mixing it up now. But in this case, this person has allegedly was planning to use this girl's breasts and eyes for rituals. Now, I have always said it that for us to really understand this conversion properly, we need a proper herbalist, you know, who can articulate himself, a ritualist, not a herbalist. Thank you, a ritualist. If you know a ritualist, not that white case foreign one. He always abuses me when I see him. I say, okay, you're not a real, no, he's actually an Ifa priest. I shouldn't even disrespect him like that. But I would like to see a ritualist who knows about stuff like this. And if you know one, please send us.
And we'll disguise him. We'll not even show his face.
We'll find a way to have a conversation because we need to know why people need parts of human bodies to make money. And if indeed it's true.
I don't think people just need parts of human bodies. I think there's a femicide happening. I read the comments yesterday. Some people were saying she went for hookup. She went for hookup. So does it now make it okay to just kill every girl that goes for hookup? Are you on a justice mission for somebody killing people who empowered you? You know? And the way that's how we excuse it now, give it a soft name till it will become
ritual killing. Till
we got here. They either call it ritual killing, they make it seem the girl deserves it for either how she's dressed, how she looks, where she went. The fact is somebody is criminally minded enough to murder, butcher, and remove a human being. Forget the gender. Forget whatever led to what. She probably went there thinking she'll go back home. There was one skit that was popularized one time where these hookup girls were made to think that they were going to be killed, and you see the girls immediately panic. Some start to confess why they need the money. I'm not excusing one ill for another. I'm just saying, stop making it seem that because of what they did, they deserve what they ended up. Nobody deserves to die in such a manner. The young man is now looking like he's confused. At the time he thought of it, did he process that this is somebody's child, human being, family member that you're putting in that position? Or does it just because, she came for this, does it make it okay to you? And
it's scary because, you know, when we were growing up, these were things that they say happened in bushes. Oh, somebody was kidnapped, we took them into the bush. Now you go and visit a friend that you've always known, that you're eating from the same plate, drinking from the same cup, and that person will turn around and murder you. Like, when you're sitting and talking to the person, the presence of mind, what is going through your head as you're looking at this person. There are other videos I've seen where, you know, they didn't quite get to killing their victims. And they would ask the question, this is your friend of how many years? They say 10, 15 years. Why? How did you think within yourself that you can take this, your dear friend? Did this friend do anything to you? No. But what is this about? It's about money. And it's not about money to feed. Oh, I'm so desperately hungry. It's about money to show off. It's about money to put pictures and videos online and show off. The materialism, so we now have a group of entitled, greedy, hungry, wicked human beings that have just been thrown into our midst. You cannot even trust anybody. People are going after their parents for these things. And it's not about food. It's not about immediate needs for survival. It's just about showing off. How how did we get here? A part of me was saying, oh, it has to be drugs. These people are on drugs. They're getting angry. They don't know what they're doing. But it's not. Sometimes they think about it because they meet a ritualist. They talk about it. They talk about how they're going to transport it. So you plan, it's premeditated. Who are these people? What is it that they're feeding them when they were born? Or how were they being raised? What are they listening to? Who are they hanging out with? Now look at this. These are university students. You can even point out to the universities that they're going to. They are also studying. So these are not people that are dropouts and looking for a way to survive. Who are these people?
Dr. Let me come to you.
When I saw the story, I had loads of questions like Mariam, like trying to understand in this our Nigeria. And what Nima said is so important. Even if someone is a prostitute, does not mean that they can be murdered or their body parts should be used for ritual reasons. Even if someone was a prostitute, someone broke your heart. We seem to be raising a new generation of psychopaths, people that have no emotion, they don't care, the end justifies the means. Anyhow, kinshati low, anyhow, kinshati blow. Like, if you say this is how I'm going to make money, I will do it. Do I need to kill someone? I'll do it. Do I need to sacrifice my mother? I will sacrifice. Do I need to kill my brother? I will kill anybody just so that I can make money. There's a new generation of people that are in that level of desperation. And it's just not for the need for, it's not basic needs. It is to be able to feel among and live the life. Yeah. And I think that there is a mental disorder line in this part of it, because when I saw the face of this particular boy in the video and some of the other guys you see, they just look straight, like they just look. It's not like, oh, I'm broken, or or like you, there's no sober. It's just there. It just has this straight look on their face. This guy had it. Another person too that was caught too. To just look straight like that. So I had to just Google like what does being a psychopath means. They're psychopaths.
So how many of them?
How can you break? How can you take someone you were dating, like you had a relationship with this person, and then you woke up and butchered? They were like, they butchered, the person is not in one form, and they now use bag to carry and blood. How can a human being do that? The person is not, there's no empathy.
The person knows your name.
Yes,
so is probably
I feel like it's a different thing if you pick up one chance and they kill in one chance. This is a relationship. People do it to their parents. They were one that he killed a 70 or 80-year-old woman. The grandparents, killed the grandparents. So I feel like we should also address that part, that they are not, there is a mental disorder that is encouraging.
How did we get to this point where we pressured our boys? Because it's boys killing girls. Are they no Yahoo girls? Don't they do Yahoo Plus? Don't they too need the parts? What is it?
Women that you are killing.
Attacking girls. Why are we letting it seem like, oh, it's girls
they
now?
Deserve it.
Is there an ambition to clear girls off earth? What exactly is happening? Why are the Yahoo boys... Why is it Yahoo boys who need women parts? What is happening? If you know like they killed their grandmother, they raped an old woman. What is exactly happening? Who puts this so much pressure on these boys to arrive? Why, if they don't arrive, what will happen? If they don't blow, what will happen? The end with the word.
So we have a lot of questions which are still yet unanswered. I think we might have to even wrap up on this very soon, because until we're able to get somebody to help us, to give us clarity, we're going to keep asking these questions. But it brings me again to the issue we have of local government, the function of local government, because these are things that close-knit, the Bales, the Obas, these are things happening, they're happening somewhere. Somebody's local government, somebody's area, somebody's domain. There are people there, the elders, where are they when this goes? There's no way people like this, these ritualists, they live in communities. There are people that will know something and know somebody. How are we being responsible for each other? Who is reporting to who? Who is ensuring that these people are being arrested or being detained or prosecuted for what they're doing? Nobody. We keep hearing that they are there. So where do they live? They don't live in the air. They live on the land. And if you're living on the land, there's somebody who is, there's a security operative or somewhere that can actually arrest these people.
It was the security operative that caught these guys.
So that's what I'm saying, that we need to fish out these ritualists and begin to execute them one after the other. Because these ones cannot even be prosecuted. And I don't know what we're going to do, but these ones, we need to begin to...
Are the ones
we need to continue to execute some of these ritualists.
Take the stories, then we don't see the end. It's very important that when we get to that hanging, it happens. If the court says die by hanging, you know, die by whatever that means, let's see it. It will discourage the mindset. Now everybody will just be joking. Ah, I need money, I need money. If they make I bring my friend, I go just carry you go. You will say it to your friend as a joke. You say it. We must let it seem like, ah, even if I want to use money, I cannot live with the consequence of being caught because of... Let's see it to the end. Let's government, just as you mentioned now, that's the part they must make. If there's a crime like this that has been followed through, let's the consequence. Let
me take this call. And Boye, thanks for calling. You're there.
Good morning.
Good morning, Boye. You're live.
Thank
you, sir. Thank you.
Number one, I would say the media stations are even at fault. The censor board of Nigerian, they are fault. There are some kind of music that they should not be playing, that reflects all these balls. When these guys are put on board, you were saying, Goku, Empire, Waka. You understand? And TV stations, radio stations keep playing all these music. And you think all these things won't influence all these boys. That is why I said clearly that you media stations, you are part of the problem of these boys going for rituals in the country. Lately, I heard one radio station playing this Mr. Sophia music, where he sang Yahoo Boy 419 no be thief. Now my head I they use so. You understand? And they were playing it on the national radio. So the media stations are really at fault. And number one, now, it was obvious that this guy did what he did. Now, if they are doing case, if they take him to court, the case will still take up to 2 years or a year. If they are condemning them, this is glaring. I don't think the case has to take up to a year or 6 months before investigations are done and the needful...
Thank you very much, Boye. You raised an important issue. And in fact, interestingly, at Africa's yesterday, some of these things were mentioned because there's only so much you can regulate. Right now, you can regulate terrestrial, right? Yeah. But the online platforms, you can't regulate. Because they're online. So the radio station, for example, can download something online. So what is allowed on your terrestrial, for example, is different from what's allowed on cable TV, is different from what you can hear online. So most of these stations just download from YouTube and everything. And that's the uncut version, or the one that has been the raw version is online. And some of these radio stations need to be monitored and sanctioned for these kind of this kind of songs. Content. So because the truth is, there should the free to air is regulated. Yeah. In our country, it's heavily regulated. But because of the multiple streaming online, and then there's pay TV, you can't regulate the pay TV channels. Yeah, you can't. So it makes everything so confusing, and people just get away with a lot of things.
And these young people spend most of their time on social media. So what is influencing them is not what they're listening to on radio or what they are watching on TV. It is what they are seeing on social media. It's the TikTok. It is the flamboyant lifestyle on Instagram. Those are the things, and YouTube. Those are the things influencing them. And I found out, somebody was saying that there were Facebook videos where Facebook pages and Facebook groups where they advertise, if you want to make money, this, bring that. Like it is, people are now, ritualists are now having platforms online, on social media, and they're advertising themselves, and they are creating WhatsApp groups to bring people. So it is about going for the source of where this thing happens.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss how we can go for the source. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're going to have to, the issue of ritual killings, we'll have to pack that for a moment, because the truth is that until we speak to a ritualist, we can't really go further. But our last caller opened up a few cans of worms that we can discuss. Media being a source of inspiration for these kids looking to get wealth through ritual killing. He also mentioned something about the criminal justice system, the poor criminal justice system prosecuting some of these things. And also talked about technology. Because the truth is that many countries across the world are going through what we're going through, especially social media issues. Regulated social media is a major conversation across the globe. Various countries are banning and barring various online platforms that are possible in China, in Indonesia. And it's because they have the option to create their own, which they can regulate. So many of them, some countries have even stopped TikTok. I heard that even in America, a few states within America have banned TikTok. Many people are taking various measures to restrict the the liberty
You can't.
so the online platforms gives to you somewhat where you can, because how we regulate media in some way, but it's hard to regulate things that you go that is downloaded. So many countries are taking the bull by the horn. Now, how do we connect this to our own country? What can we do to restrict the kinds of consumption of media that we do? How do we even understand what these kids are listening to, how they're listening to it, what they're listening to?
National Orientation Agency. This is your job. You need to be closely involved in this conversation about regulating media and the sort of information that goes out. We see some social media platforms, they do the barest minimum, where maybe they would blur out a picture, or there's some things you cannot post on Instagram anymore, some content you can't post on Instagram anymore. But also, but it's not enough, because they can, you see a platform, you say, we can't post this on Instagram, but you can follow our link to another platform where you can see the whole thing. So our government really needs to be involved. We've talked about regulating social media, and when this conversation started, a lot of us took it wrong because we thought it was about politics and politicians, but this is how far it goes down. It's talking like, what do we want our children to just openly consume without any editing, without any input from us? We have to be careful. I understand that, you know, what you consume, what is constantly in your mind, or what is before you, and what your friends are consuming, whether you like it or not, in some way, it would impact you, it will influence you. So we need definitely to regulate social media. This conversation, also, I would like to see us on the global stage having these conversations. We know what China did. There are things that they could not accept in their country, and they say, see, please don't join us. Here. So, you know, in many ways here, we talk about country, oh, we're sovereign states, we don't need their input. But then in things that should affect us, how are we showing our sovereignty? And this is the way to go about it. This ritual killing, we have, I don't want to blame it on just the social media. No, just on social media, because we used to watch these movies as children. It was the topic of conversation. Every Nollywood movie, we talked about it. You know, it became a part of us. Nigerians who will travel abroad, they will say their friends will accuse them and say, oh, are you not Nigerian, the ritualism? Because that was a picture we have painted of ourselves. So the content of who we are as well, for filmmakers and, you know, those in the industry, you need to paint us differently. We are not the people that condone this sort of lifestyle. We're not the people that accept it. And then the police, the judicial system, you need to step up and do the work that you're meant to do. When you catch these people, let us see them being properly prosecuted in so short a time. Let Nigerians, young people, see, you know, how they end up. Let's go to schools. Let's talk to children on radio, on TV. Let's make this, you know, a conversation that we constantly have. Then parents, whether we like it or not, we have a role to play. What sort of content do we consume in front of our children? You may think, oh, I'm an adult, I can tell the difference, but your child is there beside you. What sort of content are you consuming in front of that child?
Adebola, thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm interested in this topic. You see, actually, the government also contributed to this. One, the home videos. Most of the home video in Nigeria, either English or Yoruba, you see elements of rituals. They want to make money. Go and bring this, go and bring that. And they will do it. When they do this thing, they will leave it to the society. People will watch it on African Magic or on home video. Now, these are part of the way these young ones are saying that maybe that thing is real. But they are following that it's African magic. It is not real, it is a magic. It's not something that is real. But the fact that it is real, so that most of them are trying to say that, okay, when we kill somebody, I'll be able to make money, I'll become rich. That is number one. Number two, the Bible said that in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 to 5, it said in the last days, physical time how to deal with the here. Men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money. Let me just stop there. Lovers of money. People are so much interested to become a slave to money. And in order for them to be rich now, they can do anything to get that money. Because maybe they scare their friends by riding a very exotic car, living a big mansion, living a bigger life. They want to have that kind of life. So definitely they will go to any length in order for them to get this.
Right, thank you very much, Debola. The truth is that Nollywood has improved compared. I know many of us grew up watching these things, but a lot of, I've been one person that always saying that, listen, Nollywood must change our narrative. And I think a lot of them have, but you're right. There's still some that still try to reference that. But we also watch those movies.
Yeah, but we say a seed was planted.
Yeah, but we also watch those, and we didn't go looking for ritualists to grow up. So there's a place of parenting. So yes, they can teach you something, or you can see something, but you can tune it, you can watch it, you can also choose and make a choice that, you know what, I don't have to go that way. So there are ways of, you can be influenced, because we also grew up watching those things.
All the people that keep people to have money, they run mad.
There's always consequences.
But they still make the money.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
they make the money.
Had,
so that's the thing.
I love the fact that...
Yes, there was always
they made the money, they didn't live long. They made the money, they didn't have peace. They showed it in all those movies. And they were seen to be eating from the pits of...
but you see, it goes back for me. The point I was trying to make was that there's still a very important part of parenting. So regardless of what, because the world will throw things at you, you will see all sorts growing up. But there's a foundation your parents will lay. So what are our parents doing also concerning how we're raising these children?
These parents that are raising children, what do they know?
Exactly.
Who are they themselves?
What influenced them as well?
Yes, what influenced them? What is important to them? Is it materialism? You know, there's something that we talk about in Nigeria where we say, why are you talking? I have more money than you. We make it about money. And we think it's just that. You know, it's about more money. But the thing is, there's so many things that would, you know, that's just part of materialism. Yeah. Where you're pushing a group of people who feel that they need to do everything and anything to get it. So when we want to, as a society, what we encourage, what we respect, what we highlight, you know, that's what we'll see a lot of. What you said we saw as children, the ritual movies, what we saw and we're able to differentiate, the next generation will take it to the next level. So if you constantly encourage people who are, who believe in, you know, in hard work, in doing things that is not about money, that understanding that money is something that can come and go and something that can sometimes be associated with your hard work, that your inspiration is not just money. Yeah. You have a generation of people that think about, what can I do? What can I create? How can I make my society better? How can I develop my country? And that is where they get joy from, and not just about money.
Something that you said, you kind of was sandwiched in what you said. So in the past, right, we had those movies on ritualists, right, that we grew up with watching. But you see, when new Nollywood came, they didn't come to address or change that perspective. They went far ahead to show the glitz and glamour. What we show is this lifestyle. So we've left, that middle part of trying to re-educate and say that you can actually reorientate and try to actually do movies to show real, genuine work, hard work, and benefits of hard work. We didn't do that. We went straight to the glitz, the big cars, the houses, the traveling abroad, coming back. That's what our Nollywood is showing. All the people are speaking English and who are looking very foreign. But that's what we do right now. That's what our Nollywood is. Forgetting that we need to reorientate a whole community. There's a huge population of Nigerians who have consumed this ritual content for so long that needs reorientation. And that's where there's a gap in there somewhere that we need to fix with Nollywood. That Nollywood can actually help us fix.
I agree. I remember when Domitila was released, what was popular then was street prostitution across Lagos, particular runs. No, they had some streets who were popular. I don't want to mention any streets here. And it was a popular thing that was scaring everybody. And then they did a movie that talked about the different lives of 4 ladies, how the consequence of it affected their lives, whether some lived on, you know, everything was captured in that movie, enough to just discourage young girls from ever considering it. And then they did a modern one now, and a lot of...
It seemed like it encouraged it.
That is like it encouraged
So when you watch, even when you watch the old one, when you watch, people take things in different ways. I can look at it and feel like, hey, this is suffer. This life that's... You are living a life of serious suffering, and you are promising that you might enjoy for 20 years and then suffer for the next 30 years. Okay, let me just make the sacrifice and enjoy for the next 20 years. Some people look at that opportunity cost. So even if with the movies you are depicting that they will suffer later at the end of their life, but at least they enjoyed. Yeah. And if you watch the movie, they would enjoy like for 90 minutes in that 1 hour, 20 minutes movie. So you suffer, then they will not suffer for like only 5 minutes.
You show the glitz and glamour.
Yes. So people will still take what they want to take. Yeah. At the end of the day, we will not blame. I don't think it will make sense to say, oh, Nollywood is a problem, or social media is a problem, or saying that government is a problem. It's all working hand in hand. that everybody is contributing.
Yeah.
And if it's going to change, everybody would have to contribute to the change. You can regulate social media. You can control what people are seeing in your country. You can. I want to do advertisements to Europe. And when I tried to advertise to France, which I used to be able to do before 2 years ago, when I tried doing it now from Facebook, I'm not allowed to advertise my real estate from Nigeria to France, guys. They have changed how I can do my advertisements to their people.
Yeah.
So policies can happen here to stop those kind of things from happening. We can do it.
All right, let me take this call from Hassan. He's been holding for a while. Good morning, Hassan.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, sir.
Mariah,
Yes, sir.
look at it very well here. You see, movies and whatsoever sources we can talk about are the expressions of our society. The same way language is the mirror of mind, the same way movies are the expressions of the going on in our society. We should look at ourselves. Talk to ourselves. Even look at our questions. Look, there's what we call moral wickedness in our society. Go to our universities nowadays, unlike before. Go to our university today. Go around the university and see what is happening. Look, there's no moral. People believe, look, you can easily differentiate between the low class and the higher class in university today. Today, go to our university. A lot of guys are just there. The same way, those guys, that guy for Port Harcourt, they're killing girlfriends. They are just in university, just being there, marking their time to take their degree, paying for their degrees. They don't study for their degrees. They pay for it. And they look down on the other. And look at the family settings today. The children are looking at their parents as out-fashion, obsolete. You know, people that are no more there. That's how children are looking at their parents nowadays. And look at the relationship between the parents and the children. Look at what the parents encourage the students to do and the children to do. Look at the relationship between the parents and even the teachers in their schools. Look, in our day, a teacher can beat you to hell, and even your parents, they will beat you more. But nowadays, parents dictate. They will go, don't flog it this way. Don't do it this way. Don't look at it this way.
All right.
That's not how.
Thank you very much, Hassan. I mean, he has really said some things here. Go ahead, Nima.
So we have tweets. This one went for straight. It says, Kingdom of Life. It says, it started from the various adverts, like if you've got it, flaunt it, the display of affluence on social media. Even as you display your phones there, it's intimidating and pushing some unreasonable ones to get it by whatever means. Even our laws do not agree that there's voodoo. Honorable Ademola says, some Nigerians are just too wicked. They don't value life just because of money. People are too evil to think of using human parts to make money. They forget death is inevitable and that everyone will die one day. A lot of people are living with mental disorder.
Wait, Nima, I need to ask you a question. How does somebody watch television today, see our phones and feel intimidation? When I was growing up, my father would say, you see somebody has something that you don't have, and you see it and you admire it and you move on. You're able to look away that or you just, in fact, you get a slap on your face, but look straight. Why you look at somebody else's thing? You know, like, there's something you don't even think about. So how do you see somebody using phone on television and you feel like, how am I intimidating you?
I want to say some people use this. So that point was supposed to be used as, see what you are, see even you see what you're doing. But your problem, the problem is that you've forgotten to realize that already the spirit of materialism that lets you look at other people's things and think it's about intimidation.
Exactly.
So it's
your interpretation
for helping.
Already seeing it that way.
So you're seeing it through your own lens of materialism.
Materialistic world with this generation already. 100%. I told you how a young 18-year-old sees my iPhone then and says, isn't it? iPhone 8 Plus, that's the phone I want to use now. At 18, what age? Now, Sergeant, when they do now I carry go.
Exactly. You know, they pass the phone down to you. Yeah. So, another thing that we've not properly spoken about is the fact that we live in a world of, once you have money, you are good. When I said that the judgment against Dr. Femi Olaleye is a big victory for us, is that people need to realize that money does not inoculate you from the realities of life. being wealthy does not mean you will not be arrested by the police. But in Nigeria, being wealthy, you would drive past. Being wealthy, you're so powerful as a wealthy person that people realize that I can never be poor. Anyhow, I must make this money.
Let's talk about
even in school,
and materialism.
Even in school, even in universities, the wealthier person can avoid coming to class all through and still graduate. So you come to class, as in what happened, it happens.
Yes.
When I was in school, one of my friends that lives in Maltu then was attending a school in, I think, was it in Laro or in Ilorin? His name was Elsha, it was in Laro or Ilorin. And the guy was like, oh, I bought a gen for my lecturer. I bought 6 generators. I passed my neighbor generator, Yahoo Boy. I bought 6 generators for my lecturers that I don't need to go to school. Like, I don't need to go for lecture because I will pass. Yeah. Let's not behave like it's not happening. So when we have those kind of things, what you now end up seeing is people start getting desperate for, I want to look like I want, if I'm driving, if I'm here, I'm free. I'm not going to be, I don't face justice system. I can escape.
Unfortunately, we have to run.
Oh, because we need to
get into the...
Yes, because I want to say my experience when I went to school with
people too.
With people, it's not big people. Heads of states' children. Senators were my set. They came to school. If they did not come to school, they will face the consequences. So it's materialism of that person and the lecturer that is collecting it that is the problem. I just want to say that we're not all cut out that way.
The school system can also curb it. You have attendance and you must write your exams.
We have to wrap up. Unfortunately, this thing that is brewing towards the end of it. Unfortunately, we have to go because we have a guest coming up. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.